Imagine waking up at 10 in the morning, feeling great, and then having to be back in bed by 6 p.m. That is your entire life now. You have just 8 hours of sunlight, 8 hours of work, 8 hours of anything at all before your brain demands you shut down for the next 16. If human biology suddenly shifted to double our sleep needs, the world as we know it would instantly collapse, but not in the way you might think. We are talking about a total restructuring of human civilization, biology, and the very concept of time. Right now, the average person spends about a third of their life asleep. In this new reality, you are spending 2/3 of your existence in a dream state. That is 60 years out of a 90-year life spent unconscious. The first thing that hits us is the economic meltdown. Our entire global infrastructure is built on the 8-8-8 model. 8 hours for work, 8 for play, and 8 for sleep. If we shift to 16 hours of sleep, the 40-hour work week becomes physically impossible. A standard shift would likely drop to 3 or 4 hours just so people have time to commute, eat, and see their families before passing out. This means we would need 3 times the number of workers to keep a single grocery store or hospital running. Productivity would plummet, and the cost of everything would skyrocket, as human labor becomes the most precious and scarcest resource on Earth. But let us look at the biological upside, because there is one. If we were sleeping 16 hours, our brains would be undergoing massive periods of neuroplasticity and repair. We would likely be the most mentally sharp version of humanity to ever exist, at least for those 8 hours we are awake. Chronic diseases linked to sleep deprivation like Alzheimer's, heart disease, and obesity might practically vanish. We would be a species of incredibly well-rested, high-functioning geniuses who just do not have the time to get anything done. Athletes would recover from injuries in record time. Our skin would look incredible. We would essentially be like cats, high-energy predators who burst into activity and then vanish for the rest of the day. The social impact would be even weirder. Dating would become a high-stakes sprint. You have 4 hours of leisure time a day, max. Are you going to spend it on a bad date? Probably not. Social circles would shrink. Friendships would be maintained in short, intense bursts of communication. We might even see the rise of dual society systems where half the population is awake while the other half sleeps, creating 2 parallel worlds that never actually meet. The night shift would not just be a job. It would be an entire civilization living in the dark to keep the machines running while the sun dwellers dream. But here is the real kicker, the dream world. If you spend 16 hours a day dreaming, which reality becomes more important? We would likely develop incredibly vivid, lucid dreaming skills. The digital world might lose its appeal because our subconscious minds can generate better graphics and more immersive stories than any VR headset. We might become a species that prefers the dream to the reality, leading to a massive decline in innovation and exploration. Why go to Mars when you can build a whole galaxy in your head every single night for 16 hours? In the end, a 16-hour sleep cycle would make us healthier and happier, but it would effectively end the modern industrial era. We would return to a slower, more intentional way of living, governed not by clocks, but by the overwhelming biological need to close our eyes. If you could trade half your waking life for perfect health and infinite dreams, would you do it? Let me know in the comments if you think 16 hours is a dream come true or a total nightmare. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the what if, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you do not miss our next exploration. Thanks for watching, and try to stay awake for the next one.